The purpose of this video is to shed light on the basic advantages and limitations of blended learning and blended classrooms in adult education programs. There is a distinct separation between traditional K-12 learners and adult learners, though there may be overlapping methods for design and instruction for these separate groups. Goals, motivations, challenges, and life experiences of the learners often differ greatly. Where K-12 education is informed by pedagogy, adult education and adult learners are often framed in the context of andragogy. Though he was certainly not the first to coin the term and concept, Knowles is perhaps best known for adopting this principle as a foundation for the research and implementation of modern adult education practices. The unique characteristics of adult learners necessitate creative, contextual, and authentic designs and programming in order to best meet the needs of this group. One such framework for design is blended learning. Blended learning differs from a traditional face-to-face classroom or fully online environment in that it exists on a continuum between the two. A blended classroom can fluidly shift along this continuum and be adaptable to the specific needs and characteristics of its population of learners. Due to the distinct characteristics of adult learners and principles of adult learning, adult education provides a wonderful context for blended learning to occur, but it is not without its limitations or drawbacks. In order to illustrate how blended learning can support adult learners, let's examine it in the context of Knowles' 4 principles of adult learning. While these are only assumptions and their relevance fluctuates based on the social, cultural, and economic characteristics of the population, blended learning environments afford adult learners opportunities to learn in ways that can be well aligned with these principles. First, adults need to be involved in the planning and evaluation of their instruction. Along with traditional face-to-face elements where teachers serve as the primary sources of instruction and material, blended classrooms also see instructors as facilitators taking on a support role while students explore material independently. Adult learners in blended learning environments can be given opportunities to plan their schedules and evaluate their own work, that of their peers, and also their instructors. Second, experience provides the basis for the learning activities. Blended classrooms allow for designs that take into account the life experience cultivated by adult learners, allowing learners to apply this experience to their learning in an emergent way. They can be designed to focus on the process and journey rather than the end result. Making mistakes, learning from mistakes, and applying this knowledge are key elements of a blended classroom. Adults are more interested in learning subjects that have immediate relevance and impact on their job and personal life. Blended classrooms offer adult learners opportunities to focus on subjects and problems that are of relevance to them through designs including web quests or wikis. Also, adult learners are problem-centered rather than content-oriented. Blended classrooms afford adult learners the chance to focus on problem-centered learning through activities like simulations or games where they can apply their knowledge in certain areas to practical problem solving, in settings where mistakes are not barriers to learning. They can bounce ideas off peers and instructors in person or online. Aside from potential alignment with these principles that blended learning affords, it also carries distinct advantages for adult learners. Blended classrooms allow instructors to facilitate and dynamically adapt material to meet the needs of adult students possessing a wide variety of life experiences and skill sets. Blended classrooms are convenient for adult learners who work or can only attend part-time, as they can access content at school, work, home, or even the library. Blended classrooms can be tailor-made to suit the diverse digital literacy skill set of adult learners, and blended classrooms afford adult learners a measure of control over what they learn, how they learn, and when they learn, thereby fostering ownership of their learning and enhancing independence and self-direction. The crux here is that educators need to take full advantage of the following benefits in order to design authentic, engaging, blended learning environments. This becomes even clearer when examining the potential drawbacks and limitations of blended learning for adult learners and adult educators. Designs can't simply add material to a lecture-based course and slap the label blended on. Blended learning, no matter how closely it slides across the continuum towards face-to-face learning, still requires a foundational digital literacy. Adult learners who lack these skills can be reluctant to engage in the online or digital elements of blended learning environments, effectively locking them out. It also should not be assumed that all adult learners will have access to online or digital elements of a blended learning environment at all times. As such, the design of blended learning environments must take into consideration the accessibility of tools of the learners and make allowances for disparities in this area. Third, by their reflective and adaptive design, blended learning environments take a great deal of effort from learners and educators to maintain and remain meaningful. Time must be afforded for adult learners to engage, reflect, and re-engage with material, while educators must be afforded time to properly design and implement effective and meaningful environments. While certainly not ideal for all adult learners, and certainly not without its own drawbacks and limitations, the benefits of blended learning and its potential alignment with adult learning principles make it an instructional design framework option worth exploring for any educator of adult learners.